Guys, it is March the 10th, 2025, and I hope everybody had a great weekend this past weekend. I know I had a pretty good weekend. It was a really busy weekend. I am tired today, but it was a good weekend. My youngest son was in a play. He was in a play on Saturday and on Sunday. We went to yesterday's play. And he's had play practice now for the past few months, and he's had to go, during the week after school and all this stuff. And then yesterday we had to drop him off before the play, and they actually rehearsed a whole entire play before we showed up, which was an hour and a half long play. And then while we were in it, they had some technical difficulties, and the sound system got all messed up, and it prolonged it quite a bit, and they had to start all the way over from the beginning. But it ended up being really cool. But also this morning, I've been telling you guys about how I've been trying to get in for the CT scan, and I was supposed to go 2 weeks ago. Then they called and said we still don't have pre-approval yet, so they moved it to last week. And then I got a phone call last week and said they still don't have pre-approval, so that they moved it to March 17th. It's just been one thing after another, and I just want to go get these CT scans done so I'll know what's going to happen. Am I going to have surgery again or not? But today, I've got so many people involved in this at this point, and this morning I got a phone call from my insurance company, and they were like, "Sorry, but you've been denied." And I'm like, what do you mean I was denied? And she said that I guess there wasn't enough medical information, not enough medical history for me to get the CT scan. Why? They said, I don't know. I'm guessing when they put in for the CT scan for the pre-approval, they didn't include all of the reasons why I need to have it done. I guess they just assumed. But anyway, I'm still waiting to find out. They appealed it, and now there's got to be like a peer-to-peer, what they call it, where the two doctors, I guess there's a doctor for the insurance company and there's a doctor for my doctor, and they've got to talk to each other, and they have 48 hours to talk this out, figure it out, and after that period of time, I guess I'll get an answer if it's going to be denied or accepted or what. But it's really frustrating at this point now, which is another great reason to stay sober today, guys. I'm telling you, dealing with this insurance stuff and, just trying to get in for a CT scan or having a surgery and all this it is a pain in the butt. I cannot tell you the amount of hours that I've spent on the phone just trying to get things ironed out. There's always some kind of a problem. It really is a pain in the neck. And, like I said, if there is one reason to stay sober today, that is one. Because I can promise you, you do not want to have to get involved in all of this stuff if you don't have to. Now, unfortunately, a lot of us do end up getting sick or need surgery at some point in our life or whatever. And, that's all understandable. But, the thing is that, if we stop drinking and we stay sober, it might be able to prevent having to deal with all this kind of stuff. Now, I'm not saying that, you're 100% going to not have to deal with any health complications because of your drinking if you stop now. It all depends on your history. If you drank for the past 40 years and you drank, a liter of bourbon every single day for the past 40 years and you stop today, does that necessarily mean that you're not going to have any health problems later on down the road? No, it doesn't. There might already, be damage done, but that doesn't necessarily mean that there is. And stopping now could greatly reduce your chances of ending up in the hospital or having serious health complications. And you could start the process right now of your liver starting to regenerate, repair itself, because our livers are the one organ that we have that can regenerate itself. It's why we can have split liver replacements. They can take a living donor's part of their liver and give it to the person who needs one, and it will grow. The liver is just an amazing organ that we have, and like I said, if you stop drinking now, Maybe you have non-alcoholic fatty liver disease or fatty liver disease. The one good thing about fatty liver is it can be reversed. If we stop eating the way that we were eating, and or stop drinking or stop taking the medication that causes the fatty liver or whatever, it can be reversed over time. Getting on a healthy diet, stopping, like I said, the medication, or stopping using the substances causing the liver problems, you could start the process of healing your liver. And what better time to start that than now? It really is important to do so. But that's not the video for today, and that's not what I'm going to be talking about. Like I said, I just wanted to throw that in there real quick and just let you guys know that, I got denied on my CAT scan. I don't know what's going to happen with this yet, but I'm just waiting to find out. And like I told the lady, I was like, so I'm just going to end up going to the emergency room, and I'm going to tell them, that because I have stomach pain every day. I could just show up at the emergency room, say I'm having stomach pain. I need to have my CAT scan, because she told me that I don't have any symptoms right now, saying that I'm having any problems. And I told her, I said I didn't have any symptoms that time that they told me that I had a clot in the in my tips, not the first time, but the second time. I wasn't as sick as I was that first time that I went back in this fall. I thought everything was going to be okay when I spoke with the doctor after I had that CAT scan. And the next thing you know, he told me I have to have surgery again. It's not like I felt really sick or anything during that period of time. I mean, every day I don't feel well at some point of the day if I don't feel, bad all day long. But, there's just no way for me to know. But like I said, I can't remember what month that was. I think it was it September or October? I think it was October when I got sick again, because I spent my birthday in the hospital. It was October. I got extremely sick, and couldn't, I was sleeping nonstop, very nauseous. I just felt really, really, really bad. And when I sleep like that, I know something is really wrong. But either way, like I said, I'm just waiting to find out about this approval for the CT scan. So I'll keep you guys posted on what's going to happen with that. I just want an answer. And I really want to know, am I going to have surgery this spring? Or am I going to be able to enjoy myself? I mean, it just depends. So anyway, what we're going to be discussing today is, how to combat withdrawal symptoms from alcohol, like I was talking about. And I've got quite a large list of things that we can do, things that I've used, things that other people have shared with me. Some of the items on this list I've tried and they helped, to a degree. But, for each of us, it's going to be different. But I wanted to include them because they did help. Some help more than others. But like I said, we're all different. And what might help me along might not help you, but something that really didn't help me very much or just a little bit could help you tremendously. So, all the items on this list are worth giving a shot. Except for a couple, some of them are going to be at your doctor's discretion. And at the same time, before I get into this today, I do want to just throw a quick disclaimer here and just say, guys, I'm not a doctor. I'm not affiliated with any hospitals or any medical teams or anything like that. I'm just a guy who has cirrhosis of the liver and chronic pancreatitis. And I've dealt with I don't even know how many surgeries, over 20 surgeries at this point. I think it's like 24 surgeries. And, I've spent a lot of time in the hospital. I've spent over 3.5 months in the hospital at this point now. And I've spoken with so many doctors. It's just my experience and, things that I've learned along the way from speaking to other people and things of that nature, and just from research that I've done. So, take what I say with a grain of salt. This is, like I said, I am not a doctor. I cannot diagnose anybody. I'm just giving you guys, advice that I've used. And, like I said, I'm just a normal guy. I take what I say with a grain of salt. But let's go ahead today, and before we get into the ways to combat the symptoms, let's just talk about what are the symptoms of alcohol withdrawal. So the mild to moderate symptoms are anxiety, fatigue, shakiness, including shaky hands, sweating, headaches, nausea or loss of appetite, brain fog or difficulty thinking clearly, bad dreams or nightmares, insomnia, depression, feeling high strung or irritable. I got that one every single time. And rapid mood swings. And then the more severe alcohol withdrawal symptoms would be increased body temperature, rapid breathing, elevated heart rate, irregular heartbeat, high blood pressure, severe anxiety or mood disturbances, tremors, seizures, hallucinations, and delirium tremens. Also, there is a alcohol withdrawal timeline here, and this is, just kind of like a broad timeline. Does not necessarily mean this is going to be you. It could be different. It could vary from person to person, but this is just a general timeline here. So day 1, you may experience hangover-like symptoms, including headaches, nausea, vomiting, anxiety, irritability, sweating, and shaking hands. More severe withdrawal might include hallucinations or changes in blood pressure, which may need medical attention. And if, this is one of those things that you definitely want to speak with a doctor about before you go into trying to stop drinking, because depending on the amount of alcohol that you drank, the frequency, the duration of time that you drank, was it 10 years, 20 years, or 5 years? It just all depends. There's a lot of factors involved, and you really need to speak with your doctor and, let them know and be completely honest with your doctor about how much you drink, and, let them make the decision on how they think you should go about quitting. Should you taper? Should they help you through with a medical detox? Should they give you some medications to help you? Because they do have some comfort medications that can help you through this. Should you be hospitalized for this? It all just depends. And just speak with the doctor, because, stopping alcohol abruptly and or benzodiazepines can actually be life-threatening. It's the only 2 substances that if you stop, right away, can cause some life-threatening problems, and one of them being seizures. You just don't want to end up in a situation, especially end up in a situation alone, going into the withdrawals. So please, like I said, speak with the doctor before you do this, because it's going to be up to them to make that decision. And the one thing, like I said too, which is key to this, is being 100% upfront and honest with your doctor. And I know how uncomfortable that is. We don't want to go to our doctor and say, "Hey, doc, I've been drinking a half a gallon of vodka every single day for the past 10 years. We think we're going to get judged." And maybe a little bit, but at the same time, a real good doctor is not going to judge you, and they're going to try to help you along. But we need to be honest with them, because that's going to be what's going to, help them make the best decision for you. And, if you're trying to quit drinking, you're doing this because you want to better yourself, you want to better your health, you want to better your relationships with your friends and your family. Why go into this can risk everything, and, potentially lose your life because you were trying to, better yourself. Just speak with the doctor first. But anyway, days 2 to 3, symptoms often peak during this period, and a person may experience additional symptoms such as mental confusion, an irregular heartbeat, and elevated body temperature. The risk of seizures becomes highest 24 to 48 hours after your last drink. Days 3 to 5, some experience an easing of symptoms at this point. Others can develop more serious conditions such as delirium tremens, hallucinations, fever, and dangerous fluctuations in heart rate and blood pressure. This condition requires medical attention. And then days 5 to 7. Many people see significant improvements in withdrawal symptoms at this point, although it can sometimes take a few weeks for symptoms like insomnia and mood disturbances to go away. There's also a phenomenon called pause as well, precipitated withdrawal, that could be an issue as well. So let's go ahead now and let's talk about some ways to combat the withdrawal symptoms. And one of the first things I have on this list is hot baths. And I cannot stress how much a hot bath can help you along with withdrawals, especially with Epsom salt in the water. Because one of the things when you're going through withdrawal is you're going to feel really bad. You're going to be really achy. You're going to be sore. Sometimes you get like flu-like symptoms, as you're going through the withdrawals. And the hot baths can just really help ease those muscle pains and aches. Can just help soothe your body, soothe your mind. It can be relaxing to get in that nice warm bath especially with the Epsom salt. The magnesium in the Epsom salt can help calm you down a little bit. Hot baths, I think, are one of the best things that we can use. And every time that I tried to quit drinking, I would soak in a hot bath. It just helped out a lot. And another thing too is when you're going through withdrawal, you're gonna have like body temperature fluctuations. 1 minute you're gonna be hot, next minute you're gonna be cold. And one of the things I always dealt with was just feeling cold. I would be freezing cold. And getting in that nice warm bath just helped warm me up and just helped me feel more comfortable. Another thing that helps out too is going for a walk. Just getting outside, stretching your legs, and it can be difficult in the beginning, especially because you feel so bad. But making yourself get up and go for a walk. Even if it's a brief walk, just getting outside, breathing in some fresh air, getting in the sunlight, getting some vitamin D, getting out into nature, just stretching your legs. It just really helps it along. It kills some time as you're going for your walk. It gives you time to think about why you're doing this, especially if you throw on a nice podcast or an audiobook or something. Which is something I love to do. And, you just get out and you start walking. And before you know it, an hour and a half, 2 hours has gone by. And that's hour and a half, 2 hours less that you have to deal with those withdrawal symptoms throughout that day. And another good thing that going for a walk does is it helps to kind of wear us down a little bit, which is going to help you be able to go to sleep easier at night, because it's one of the things that you're going to deal with going through withdrawal is the insomnia. Especially if you're one of those people that used alcohol as a means to go to sleep at night. And I think a lot of us do. We would, just drink until we pass out or drink until we get sleepy and then go to sleep. And then once you remove that, it can be really difficult getting to sleep. And going for a walk can really help just wear your body down a little bit and make it a little bit easier to fall asleep at night. I talk about this all the time, but it is so important, and that is finding a hobby. Just find something to keep yourself busy. You need something to get rid of the time throughout the day, and whatever that hobby may be. Maybe it's wood carving or furniture building or painting pictures or drawing things or photography, videography, going out and collecting leaves in nature or whatever, maybe collecting mushrooms. Just find something that you really enjoy to do. And if I was you, I would go out and find a few different kind of hobbies that you're going to enjoy. And it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to go spend a bunch of money to do them. You can find things that relatively cost no money at all. But if you do have some money that you want to spend, there's a ton of hobbies that you can get involved in. Canoeing or kayaking or skiing or, you name it. There are so many different things that you can get involved in. Scuba diving, those are the ones that cost money. You could get involved in things that don't cost anything. You could go rock hounding, start looking for rocks. You could start, looking through a telescope at night and looking at the stars. I don't know. But there are tons of things that you can get involved in. And I highly suggest find a couple hobbies that you enjoy. Maybe just go to your local library and check some books out, and maybe start researching something that you are really interested in. Maybe you're interested in conspiracy theories and you want to start doing some research into some conspiracy. I don't know what that might be. I mean, that could just really, really take some time, and go to the library and check out some books on whatever it is that you're interested in, and read them. Like I said, finding a hobby, something that can take that time up, because if you're just sitting around watching TV all day long, that's just, you're going to think about it quite a bit, and you're going to be bored. And that's why I think that finding something that you really enjoy to do, especially if it's something that you are making something, like crocheting, or maybe bead necklace making, or making some kind of jewelry, or, those bracelets back in the day that, everybody used to wear, where you use like thread and you tied little knots and it did a little wind around thing, like friendship bracelets or something. I don't know. But if you find something that you enjoy, that you're actually creating something, man, that is so cool, especially after you've made a whole bunch of bracelets or something like that. You can give them away to your friends, or maybe start a store on online and start selling your little bracelets. I mean, it's a way to have a hobby and find something to do and make a little bit of extra cash. And you never know, it might turn into a real business, and you might be able to find something that not only do you enjoy, but it actually pays your bills, and you just never know. But I think finding a hobby is really important, and just staying busy in general. Exercise, whatever form of exercise that you enjoy doing. Weightlifting is a great one if you're capable of doing so. Building that lean muscle. It's going to help get rid of those calories throughout the day. If you're able to build a lot of lean muscle on your body, as you're just sitting, your body is eating those calories up. It takes calories to keep those muscles going, and not just that. Your physical appearance is going to look a lot better. You're going to feel better about yourself. Which, when we feel better about ourselves, we're not going to lean so hard on the alcohol, especially if we're starting to really see a trend towards our health improving in a major way. We're going to really start paying attention to that, and especially if you put a lot of hard work into it. You've been weightlifting for a month, you quit drinking a month ago, you've been eating a lot healthier, you're starting to see the fat shed away, you're starting to see a lot of lean muscle development in your body. You're probably not going to, break and have that drink on that Friday night, because you don't want to destroy all that hard work that you've put in. But I think exercise is great. It really helps alleviate depression. It helps alleviate the anxiety. Like, once again, just like going for a walk, it helps to, make us a little bit more tired at night, just fatigue our bodies a little bit more, because going to sleep at nighttime is one of the hardest things to do, right? Especially in the beginning of us stopping drinking. Your body's going haywire. It's like, where's my alcohol, or where's that substance that I've been putting in it every single day? I need that, and your brain's gonna start to panic. And it's going to keep you up all night long, and then you're going to feel bad the next day because you didn't sleep well, which is going to add to those feelings of wanting to have a drink, because we might mistake those feelings for that exhausted feeling the next day for a withdrawal symptom, when it might just be because you didn't sleep for the past 24 hours. And then we think, well, I feel this bad, I'm just going to go have a drink, and that's going to make me feel better. And at the end of the day, you're just really tired. Nausea medication, if you can get your hands on it, Zofran, things like that. One of the things I dealt with, and a lot of people I speak to, is the nausea in the beginning of the withdrawal. Nausea medication helps out a lot. And one of the things about nausea medication too is that, what it does for me is it makes me really tired, which, a lot of times when I take my nausea medication, I'll just go to sleep. Well, guess what? There just went 2-3 hours out of your day, and all we're trying to do is just get through this initial withdrawal stage. With all the physical withdrawal symptoms that we're going to be dealing with, there's going to be mental withdrawal symptoms for a while. But the physical ones are, they're really hard to get through. And if you can just get through that period of time, however long it's going to be for you, that's a win. And, if you start to feel nauseous and you got some nausea medication, you're able to take that, like I said, it makes me sleepy, and I'm able to sleep, and, that might be able to knock out a couple hours out of your day. One of the things that, if you speak with your doctor and they decide that, maybe they want to let you detox from home, they might send you in a prescription for benzodiazepines. And they won't give you a whole bunch of them, but they'll give you enough just to help you through the initial withdrawal phase. But also, if you go to the hospital and go through a medical detox, they're going to give that to you there as well. I went through a medical detox. I tried to quit so many times, it never worked. Now, I was already in the hospital because I was there because I was throwing up blood. I was in the middle of pancreatitis. So they put me through a medical detox, which they said is protocol. They had to do it. And I don't remember anything from the first week that I was there. I was in the hospital for 2.5 weeks. That first week, I have no recollection of anything that happened other than when I first arrived at the hospital. But after that, nothing. And I got to say, it sure did help me through that really tough period of time. And, like I said, go speak with the doctor. They might give you something to help you along with this. And, those kinds of medications do help out a lot. Another thing, too, is over-the-counter pain medication, ibuprofen, Tylenol, things like that, because you're going to have a headache. And you're going to have body aches and pains because of it. Don't go crazy with it. And make sure that you're taking something that's okay for you to take. Tylenol can be really taxing on the liver, especially if you're taking more than 2 grams a day or 2,000 milligrams a day. You don't want to go over that amount. And also, ibuprofen can cause stomach bleeding. And if you think that you might have varices from all the years of consumption, be careful with the ibuprofen. You do not want to end up in a situation where you end up with stomach bleeding and then you've got varices and those bursts, and then you're in a whole world of problems. And you can alternate between Tylenol and ibuprofen. So you could take Tylenol and then take ibuprofen, or however you want to do it, but just be very careful taking the over-counter pain medications, or aspirin. You could take that as well, but just be careful, like I said. But you are probably going to have a headache, especially in the first couple of days, and body pain. So look into taking something, and just like I said, just don't go crazy with it. Just stick to the I'm trying to remember the word for it. Just use if it says take 2 pills every 6 hours or whatever. Use as directed on the bottles, is what I was trying to say. Good diet. This is one of those things that can really help you along. And I'm not saying, that you need to do this right in the beginning. And one of the things in the beginning is that, a lot of times eating junk food and stuff can help you through. So if that's something that's going to help, go for it. And if you want to have a bunch of snacks and all kinds of stuff like that in the first couple of days, if that helps you get through that, then by all means, do what you need to do. If you want to eat a pint of ice cream and eat a bag of Doritos, and that's going to keep you from going back to the liquor store and buying a bottle, so be it. But getting on a healthy diet, eating lean proteins, organic vegetables, making sure you get enough fiber in your diet, and protein is very important. And like I said, organic. You've already caused enough damage to your body. You don't want to be consuming a lot of pesticides and all that kind of stuff. Preparing things without using seed oils, not using too much sodium, not too many carbohydrates. You want to try to keep your carbohydrate levels kind of low. But at the same time, like I said in the beginning, if snack food's going to help you get through, if McDonald's and eating pizza and hot dogs and hamburgers and stuff like that is, if that's going to be the key to helping you get through this, then like I said, then by all means do it. Just don't do it for the rest of your life. You really want to try to start eating healthy. It's going to make you feel better. And it's going to help your body to, cleanse itself, get back healthy again. And we really need to, high protein, low carbohydrate, and, low fat. And those organic vegetables, it's going to help your liver regenerate itself and get back healthy again. The protein is super important for the liver. I cannot stress that enough. And so is getting enough fiber in your diet, because all those toxins that we're starting to, wash out of our body, we need to excrete them some way or another. And we need to make sure that we're passing all that stuff through on a daily basis. And I know this list is kind of all over the place, but I was just writing all this stuff down. Another thing too is getting rid of all the temptation around your house. If you got alcohol laying around, get rid of it. There's no point on hanging on to it. I used to do the same thing. I'm going to hold on to this in case of an emergency, in case I just really feel like I need it. And it'll make me feel better to know that that bottle's there. I could want it I could have it if I really wanted it, but it'll just make me feel better knowing it's there. That's a bunch of malarkey. It's just crap. And I'm sorry. I did it every single time that I quit drinking, and I always ended up going back to it. Now, I'll take that back. There were a couple times I did get rid of everything first, but there were times that I would keep a little bottle, stashed around, just in case. And I just think that's a horrible idea. It was like a, break glass in case of an emergency bottle. Well, that glass got broken every single time, and I always, dug into it. Just get rid of it. And that goes for anything around your house, Like I said, if you're watching this because you're addicted to benzos or painkillers or something like that, get rid of all of them. There's no point in keeping that stuff around. It's just going to tempt you. And, if you're watching this video because, you're trying to quit alcohol, get rid of everything around the house that you could possibly drink. Get rid of that rubbing alcohol. People do drink that stuff. They will strain it through bread and drink it. Get rid of vanilla extract and all that kind of stuff. People drink those kinds of things. Just get it out of the house. No point in having it around. Find new friends. If your friends are, if you've gotten to the point where all of your friends are drinkers, or, all of your friends use whatever the substance is, find new friends. Stop hanging around with those people right now. You might be able to hang out with them at a later date, but right now you don't need to be around those people, especially if they're still using or drinking. It's going to be just too tempting, and there's just no point in it. There really isn't. I would seriously just stay away from those individuals for, quite some time. And, you never know. They might sober up or whatever, and you guys can go back to hanging out again. But for right now, stay away. Just don't do it. Join a local AA or NA group if that's for you. I've tried going to AA so many times, and I've been to NA too. I just didn't find anything that helped me with that, but it might be good for you. And, maybe it's just we just don't have any good groups around where I live. I think one of the problems with the groups that I've been to is that they are super old groups. These people have known each other for years. They've been going to the same meetings, same people for long periods of time. And I think it was more of like just a group of friends that would get up on whatever night it is they meet up and hang out with each other. And it was just, a chance for them to socialize. They're all good friends, and they've known each other for long periods of time. They've all been going to the same AA meeting forever. So when I came in, I was an outsider. They didn't really accept me, or at least that's the vibe that I got. And two, it's just the conversation just wasn't really, it wasn't what I was looking for. I just didn't have any luck with it. But like I said, you might have some really good AA or NA groups around you. I would just give them a shot. Just look up AA meetings near me, and it'll pop right up on your phone. And just go. Just go check them out. You never know. And you won't know until you try. Just show up. If you're not feeling it, you can get up and go. But you never know. You might go and you might actually love it. And you can always go and try to get a sponsor. Once you get a sponsor, you've got somebody that you can call anytime you get that feeling, that you want to drink or use, and they can be a big help. Just give it a shot. You never know. And if you don't like it, just don't go to that one again and try another one. But like it is worth giving it a shot. And I'm not gonna, I'm not saying anything bad about AA or NA or anything. I just didn't have any luck here in my area finding a good group. Another thing too is tell your friends and family what you're doing. You do need a good support system while you're doing this, and let your friends and family know what's going on. Say, hey, you don't have to go into all kinds of detail, why and all that kind of stuff. You can just tell your family. Say, hey, look, I'm quitting drinking, or I'm quitting using, and I might be a little moody here in the next week. Don't talk to me about drinking or whatever, please, if you don't mind, or I could really use your support right now. I might need to give you a call at 3 a.m. if I'm struggling really bad. Just let people know what's going on. And it's really good to let those people know what's going on with you too, because like for me, whenever I would do that, I tended to pull myself away from everybody, and people didn't understand why I was doing so. I really didn't want to talk on the phone too much. I didn't want to text. I just kind of just withdrew from everybody for a little bit. That's the way I dealt with it. And, people didn't quite understand why I was doing that. And I think it's just good to let people know, like, hey, this is what's going on with me. So if I'm acting a little bit weird the next week or so, this is why. And like I said, also, they can be there to support you through this. You're going to need support from your friends and your family while you're going through this period of time, because it can be really difficult. Keep a list of emergency numbers. And I think this is another really important one. If you get to the point where you're going through withdrawal and things start to get really shaky, you need to have some emergency numbers on hand that you can call. And then this goes for another thing too, is that if you are concerned or you've spoken with your doctor and you're concerned that there might be some serious problems associated with you stopping, don't do this alone. You don't want to have a seizure and bang your head up on the floor or something, and you're all alone in your house and nobody finds you for the next 3 days. I really would suggest, having somebody around while you're going through this period of time. And, once you get through that initial phase, you could go back to your house and be alone. But, the biggest thing is that you just don't want to have a seizure or some kind of, your blood pressure gets super high and you have a heart attack or something like that, and you're all alone. Make sure you've got somebody there with you, especially in the beginning. But having emergency contact numbers, too, is very important. Sports drinks while you're in the middle of this, especially if you're getting sick, you're throwing up, you've got diarrhea. When we're throwing up and we have diarrhea, we can get dehydrated super quick. So like Gatorade, things like that, are really good to keep on hand, just to make sure that we're staying hydrated. And that is so important. It's one of the things that happens to a lot of people too. They've got diarrhea for 3 straight days and they're vomiting and they're not hydrating like they're supposed to, and they end up in the hospital because of that. Electrolyte drinks, coconut water, Gatorades, what's the one that Pedialyte, something like that. Just make sure you got something like that on hand, so you can hydrate the way that you need to. 'Cause sometimes water just does not cut it. It needs to have the electrolytes in it, the potassium and the sodium and stuff like that. taking vitamins can be very important too. And a lot of times when we are in active addiction, especially when we're drinking, we don't eat properly. We're probably already malnourished before we even go into this period of time. So taking those vitamins, trying to get our, vitamin and mineral levels back correct in our body, which could be another thing. You could go have some blood work done and find out if you're deficient. But taking your vitamins and minerals, especially when you first stop, is going to help you feel better because, like I said, you're probably malnourished. We don't eat right when we're in active addiction because we don't want to have a full belly when we're trying to drink. It's hard to get drunk after you just ate a big cheeseburger and a large fry and maybe something for dessert or something like that. It's basically, you might as well just give it up and not even drink that day because you're so full. So a lot of times we don't do it and we don't eat for days, and all we're doing is drinking, and that strips our body of vitamins and minerals too when we drink. So taking our vitamins and supplements can really help you feel better, and it might help lessen those withdrawal symptoms as well. Here's one that, could help, really could help is meditation. I have a problem with meditation. I just can't seem to quiet my mind enough. I've tried it over and over again, but there are a lot of people out there who swear by meditation, and it helps them out a lot. There are so many self-help videos on YouTube. Just type in if you just type in how to meditate, it's probably going to pop right up. But there are tons of videos out there explaining how to go about doing it. And it can just help bring a little bit of peace of mind, especially in the beginning. But, give meditation a shot. Like I said, I haven't had much luck with it, but there are a lot of people who swear by it. And it's worth a shot. Give it a try. It might help you out. Another thing, too, go have a massage done. You'll be surprised what that could do for you. Just going and have a massage. If you have somebody that that could give you a massage, or just look up on Google, massage therapist near me. It doesn't cost a whole lot of money. It's probably $60 for an hour to get a massage done. I'm telling you, it's well worth the money that you're going to spend. If you go get an hour-long massage, you are going to come out of there feeling like $1,000,000. And you actually get a natural high when you get a massage. I'm not kidding you. I haven't had a whole lot of massages in my lifetime, but I have had a couple. And after having that done, I felt like $1,000,000, like seriously, and had a natural high after I had it done too. I felt super good after I had that done. And just I had a buzz after it. I just felt really good, really happy, really loose. It just makes you feel a lot better. It can help relieve that some of that anxiety that you're having, that stress, especially in the beginning, can really help you through that time period. Talk therapy. Either getting onto a website and signing up for one of the BetterHelp or something like that could help you out tremendously. It just gives you somebody to talk to, or finding a friend or family that you could just, do some talk therapy with. That can help out a lot. And just talking about how you're feeling, just getting stuff off your chest can really help out tremendously. I got this written down. I already talked about it, but considering getting a medical detox, I think is, not everybody wants to do it. I went through one, like I said. It helped me out a lot, and it's worth thinking about. Inpatient or outpatient treatment, if you have tried this over and over and over again, and it's just not working out for you, maybe considering going to an inpatient place, a treatment facility, or going to an outpatient treatment facility. These people, this is what they do for a living, and they know what they're doing. Some places are better than others. Some places aren't that great, but it could potentially really help you through this time period. And I know a lot of people that have gone through inpatient and outpatient, And I know somebody right now that's going through outpatient as we speak, and they've told me that it helps them out tremendously. It really is helping them out a lot. So it's worth considering. I know it can be expensive, but it's worth a shot. I talk about this all the time, but the soda waters, especially if you're a beer drinker, drinking a soda water, you start to get that feeling like you want to have a drink. Chug a soda water. It is just like drinking a beer, and it really does help fill that gap. But you can do that with anything. You start feeling like you want to have a drink or you want to use some, chug a bottle of water, chug a soda if you don't have a soda water on hand. I mean, anything. And I've got this written down, but while I'm talking about it, I think a lot of times, we go all day long without eating, and we get to that point where we get off work or whatever it is. When we get to that point of the day when we can finally drink, a lot of us haven't eaten anything all day long. We want to have a really empty stomach before we get that first drink in for the day. So we'll go all day long with nothing in our belly, and then we'll just start slamming drinks, and before you know it, we're intoxicated. But if you start to get that feeling like you want to have a drink, go eat a meal. Just go eat something. Make yourself a big salad, or have some yogurt, or go get that big cheeseburger, or have a couple slices of pizza, or whatever it is. I promise you, after you have a big meal, if you start to feel like you want to have a drink, you're not going to be thinking about having a drink after that, because there's no point in drinking after you've got a full belly. There just isn't. It does not do anything. Maybe if you start having like a super big craving and it is like really bothering you, it might be time to go see that Chinese buffet that you've been thinking about going to. Just go and just eat until you're full. You're not gonna be able to drink after that. You're just not. And that's it for that day. You can move on to the next day and just repeat and do it again and just make it through that day again. And, at the end of all of this, we really just have to make it through that first initial week. And then it's just a mental game after that. The physical part is people could say, it might be harder for people with the mental thing than the physical part. But for me, the physical part was the hardest. Then the mental part was hard as well, but the physical was the hardest. Just feel like ants are crawling all over my body, and I can't sit still, and I can't get comfortable, and I'm just so irritable and all that stuff. My stomach's a wreck, and I'm throwing up, and I've got diarrhea. I mean, it's just so hard to get through. And buying time, making it through those days. And like I said, if going to a buffet and just eating to your heart's content is going to help you through that day, then so be it. Like I said, it's not something you want to do every single day for the rest of your life. But, for the first week or so, go for it. Staying away from bars or other places where you drink. That's pretty self-explanatory. You don't want to go hang out at the bar to go see your buddies, that you're drinking buddies, in the process of trying to get sober. I mean, you're just asking for it if you do that. Maybe take a different way home too. If you pass that bar that you hang out at all the time on your way home, maybe it's time to find an alternate route so you don't have to pass by it. Or that liquor store that you stopped at on the way home every day. Or that gas station that you stopped at on the way home every day after work to pick up your beer or your wine coolers or your seltzer, White Claws or whatever. Maybe drive a different way home so that you're not passing by that place that's going to trigger you. Because sometimes, like I was talking about the other day, sometimes it's like muscle memory. Before you know it, you have pulled into the liquor store, got your bottle, and it's like you don't even remember even what you did. So definitely consider, maybe taking a different way home and stay away from those places. And that goes with people too, Stay away from those people. Come up with an action plan. And what I mean by this is come up with an action plan for while you're in the middle of withdrawal. And that might be, coming up with ways that are going to prevent you from going to that store or going to that bar or whatever it may be. Something I used to do back in the day whenever I was trying to quit was I would give my wife all my debit cards. I would give her my keys sometimes and say, here, take my keys and hide them. I don't want them. She would leave them here at the house, but she would hide them. And I tell her, if it's an emergency, have them somewhere where I can get to them if I needed them, if I called you. But I'm going to have to give you an explanation about where I need to go. So she would take my keys and hide them, and I'd give her all my debit cards, knowing there was nothing I needed to buy. So I would give her my ID, so that I couldn't go to the bank and withdraw money, even if I didn't have my ATM card, because you can just walk into a bank with your driver's license and say, I just want to withdraw some money out of my checking account or whatever. So I'd give her my ID, I'd give her my debit cards, I'd give her my car keys. That way I couldn't go anywhere and I couldn't buy anything. And it helped. It really did. And there were some times that I called and said, I need my keys back. She was like, for what? And I tried to come up with something. She's like, you don't need to go anywhere. and I didn't go anywhere because there was nowhere to go. And I lived way too far out in the country to walk to a store. Now, that might be a problem for some of you, that live in a city and, there's a corner store, right there on the corner. It's a 5-minute walk. That might be a little bit different for other people. But for me, it worked because we live far out in the country. But coming up with an action plan that's similar to that. How can you, do your best to keep away from the store? I already talked about eating when you get that feeling. And another thing that can help out with too is, you get rid of those car keys or, put away your ID or whatever. You can't go to the store and go to the bank and get money to purchase whatever the substance may be. Another thing that you can do as well is erase those contacts out of your phone. Don't memorize them. Don't screenshot them. Just delete those contacts. And don't give yourself a way to go back and retrieve those numbers. Delete that text message thread that you have. Delete the contact out of your phone. That way, when you start getting desperate, that number's not there for you to pick up and say, hey, please meet me at the corner store. I need my fix. If you don't have the number, you can't call, especially if you don't have it memorized. And most people these days don't have numbers memorized. Yoga can help out a lot. And I have had so many people tell me that yoga helped them out tremendously. I've never been a yoga person, but I've had a lot of people tell me that yoga has helped them out a lot. There are certain herbs that you can use. I've talked about this many times on here, but there are things such as valerian root, chamomile, passion flower, and CBD. The valerian root, be careful with that. Valium was named after valerian. And I will tell you this too, valerian root stinks to high heaven. It smells like nasty, sweaty feet. You take a pair of a construction worker's boots and sniff those. That's what valerian root smells like. It smells like nasty, sweaty socks. Some people make teas with it. I don't see how in the world they would do that. Just the capsules in the bottle. The ground up root powder that's in a gel cap, and if you just take the lid off the bottle and smell, it stinks. I've taken the capsules, and I can tell you that with my experience with the valerian root, is a very powerful herb. It will knock you on your butt. Some people it doesn't do that with. For me, it did. It really knocked me on my butt. So be careful, valerian. If I was you, whatever the directions say on the back of the bottle, if it's like take 2 capsules, take 1. Or maybe split that capsule in half and take that first and see how your body reacts to it before you go taking a lot of it. Because it is a very powerful herb. Also, chamomile, I swear by chamomile. Chamomile is a pretty safe herb. It's a flower. I drink the tea, especially on nights before I have to have surgery. It helps me go to sleep like nobody's business. Now, I do use 2 tea bags when I'm making my chamomile tea, but the chamomile helps out tremendously. And the passion flower, I actually have passion flower vines here on my property that come back every summer. We get the passion flower fruit, and the flowers, I will pluck the flowers and dry those out on a piece of cardboard in the sun, and I dry out the leaves as well, and I will make tea out of that. But you can go to your local grocery store and buy passion flower tea. There's not a lot of companies that make it, but I think there's like 2 or 3 in your big chain stores. Now, you might be able to find more passion flower tea at like a, an herbal store, or like, some other kind of like specialty store or something like that. But just in your chain grocery stores, I've bought it there before. You can get just, a box of passion flower tea. Do your research before you take any of these herbs, though, because they can interact with certain medications. And the passion flower, I didn't realize this, but it can interact with blood thinners. The kind of blood thinner that I take, it doesn't interact with, but there is another blood thinner, and I can't remember the name of it right off the top of my head right now, but it can interact with that. So just, like I said, it's a simple Google search. Type in, what is the valerian root? What medications does valerian root interact with? Or what medications does passion flower interact with? Just do a search, and if you're on any type of medication, just do a quick check and make sure that you're being safe before you take these herbs. And tread lightly as you take them. Just don't dive head first into taking these, because they can be very, very powerful. Like I said, the valerian root's no joke. It really knocked me on my butt. I talked about this, but not being alone while detoxing is very important. Definitely have somebody there with you while you're doing it. I talked about meditation too. I think meditation can be really important. I just don't have a lot of luck with it. And I've got something else written down here, and I just cannot read my handwriting. I have no idea what that is. Well, anyway, it must not be that important, because, like I said, I cannot read my handwriting. But that's my list for today of, things that I think can really help us out. Going through withdrawal. I think more than anything else, I think that staying busy, finding a hobby, I think that staying busy and finding a hobby are probably 2 of the most important things that we can do. We got to fill our time. If you're just sitting around twiddling your thumbs, pacing back and forth, thinking about how a drink could fix everything right now, you're going to probably give in. Because you're just sitting there thinking about it nonstop. If I was to go get that drink right now, all this would just go away, and you're just walking around your kitchen thinking about it. Should I go? Shouldn't I go? Should I go? Shouldn't I go? If you find something to fill your time, especially something that is going to make you be physically active, I cannot express how important I think that is. 1, you're killing time. 2, you're being productive. And 3, you're wearing yourself out. It's going to make it so much easier to go to sleep at night. And I just can't stress how important I think that truly is. So, find that hobby, whatever it is. Whatever you have thought about your whole entire... I don't know what that beeping, that's my insulin pump. I don't know what that's about, but we all have something that we've always been interested in and said, one day I'm going to pick that up and I'm going to do it. Maybe it's sewing or designing your own clothes or whatever it may be. Find something to occupy your time. It might be walking dogs. It might be just spending time with your pets. But find something that is going to occupy your time, keep you busy, and make those days go by quicker. I think it's so important. And like I said, if it's something that wears you out physically, it's going to help you sleep at night. Losing sleep, especially in the beginning, is going to make you feel groggy. It's going to make you feel kind of crappy the next day. it's going to fool your mind into thinking that this is a withdrawal symptom that you're dealing with, and it's probably just that you're tired. And when you stack that up on top of already feeling bad because of the withdrawals, it's going to make you lean towards maybe going to that store and getting that bottle because it's going to make you feel better. Try to wear yourself out so that you can go to sleep. Getting good sleep, eating nutritiously, and, staying hydrated, it's going to help you feel better, and it's going to make those withdrawal symptoms last a little bit less time. It's not going to stretch them out and drag them out longer. But anyway, guys, I'm at 45 minutes now, and I'm sure there's a heck of a lot more things that I missed in today's video. If you have anything that you'd like to add, I might do a follow-up video on this tomorrow. Please add it in the comment section for this video of something that you think that I missed, that you think would be important for me to add for another video. I'd love for you to do so. So please just go underneath here, add it in the comments. I will read all of your comments, and if I see anything that I think needs to get added, I'll put it on a list, and I will make a follow-up video to this tomorrow. Because, like I said, I'm sure I missed a bunch of stuff, but I would love to hear what you guys have. And just that list right there, heck, I'm at almost, between me reading off this list, that took 46 minutes for me to do. So I didn't want to do like a 2-hour-long video today anyway, so I really wasn't that worried about it. But like I said, if there's something that I missed, please let me know, and I will do a follow-up video tomorrow or some other time this week, and make sure I get the rest of those options added on there. And I truly do appreciate it if you guys add that or let me know what I missed. Before I get off of here today, I just want to say thank you so much to those of you that have donated to the Buy Me a Coffee, Cash App, or done a super thanks on here. I really do appreciate you guys. If you would like to donate to the channel, I'm going to put the link right down here for you guys to do it, and I will add it to a pinned comment for this video as well. I've had people have a hard time finding the link, so I'm just going to put it in a pinned comment. So just go right to the comment section. It'll be the very first comment right there. All you have to do is just hit the link. It'll be blue. You just tap it, and it's going to take you straight to my Buy Me a Coffee link, and you can donate. It just gives me an opportunity to do these videos every single day and spend all of my time doing this channel. Like I said, it's not just the videos, which take a lot of time, but I speak to a lot of people, replying to all the comments and making sure that I'm communicating with you guys. There's just a lot involved in this. Responding to messages on Instagram or whatever. It takes a lot of time, and it does allow me to continue to spend all of my time on this. Now, of course, I do other things sometimes, spend time with my kids, cook dinner, do things around the farm, stuff like that. But for the most part, this is what my life is trying to help people with addiction, because it truly is something that, I want to try to help as many people as I possibly can. I was in that deep, dark hole for so long. I did not see a way out of it. And when I finally got sober, it became a passion of mine. I wanted to help as many people as I could, because I know what it's like to feel so lost and not feel like there's a way out, and not knowing what to do, what the next step is, where do I go from here. That's what I want to do, and continue to be able to support people. And, if it's something you don't have anybody else out there to talk to or whatever to help you through, like I was saying, you can reach out to me on my Instagram. If you send me a message on Instagram, if I don't get right back to you, I'm probably busy in the moment, but if you send me a message, I will reply. And if you send me a message on Instagram, that will give me the opportunity for you to share with me your contact information. That way I can get in contact with you, because I would prefer for you guys not to put your contact information up in the comment section. And I'm not going to put my number or anything up like that on there, or my email address. I did that a long time ago, and I got completely overrun with messages which I'm not even going to go into. It was really disgusting, the messages I was getting. Who these people were, I don't know, but they were sending me a lot of really nasty stuff, and I just don't want to share my email publicly like that. But anyway, guys, like I said, thank you so much for watching today, and thank you so much for the donations on Buy Me a Coffee and the Cash App, and what's the other one? I can't remember now off the top of my head. But, super thanks. Thank you so much for the donations, guys. And I am going to put everybody's names that donated yesterday through this morning. Thank you so much to each and every single one of you. I truly appreciate you guys. And another thing, too, real quick, is that a couple people have been doing this a lot lately. They don't want to have their name displayed on the screen, probably, so they're when they go in, you have the option, just put anonymous or someone or whatever. You know, you don't have to use your real name, but people are doing that because they just want to remain anonymous, and that is totally cool. And that's what I'll put. I'll just put anonymous up on the screen. So, you know, and I'm not going to share your last name either. If it's like, Billy Powell, I'm just going to put Billy P. I'm not going to share your whole name up on there. So anyway, guys, once again, thank you so much for each and every single one of you that are helping this channel along. You know, not only are you helping, but you're helping, so many other people. You're allowing me to help others. So, guys, I hope that y'all have a great rest of your day today. Thank you so much for watching. I love you guys all so much. I truly do. I care about each and every single one of you. And I hope y'all have a great rest of your day. I will see you all tomorrow. And until then, y'all have a good one. Bye-bye.